And we're recording. Welcome to episode 11 of the Pursuits of Productivity podcast. I have my co-host, who hasn't been on for a few weeks now.
Yeah, it was a bit of a break. Nice to be back.
Cody Faust. He's back, baby. He's back. So
episode 11 already, though?
Yeah. I thought
came a long way.
Since he's been gone for a few weeks now, I thought it would be appropriate if we had him on. Just a solo interview, just a couple of guys being dudes, a couple of bros, hashing out like the good old days. How's that sound?
That sounds great to me.
So.
Juicy.
Let me turn it down here. So, what's been new with Cody? Would you like to inform the audience of an abridged summary of the past few months for you?
Yeah, dude. Honestly, we could get that later in the podcast.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know, bro. I've just been thinking about my philosophy class, bro. And it's like, I don't want to bore anyone out.
Yeah. I'll pull on a little here. So just so the camera can see you. Yeah.
Oh, just so the camera can see me?
Okay. No other reason. I definitely don't want to have you within touching distance.
But yeah, bro, we've been talking about Darwin's theory of evolution. I know that sounds boring as shit, but it's really not.
It's not even true.
Versus like Aristotle's point it's theology, if that's how I pronounce it. Yeah. But it's like why things come into existence in Aristotle's point of view. It was things like need a purpose in order to exist.
Yeah, even mosquitoes have a purpose. Even though I fucking hate mosquitoes. # fuck mosquitoes.
Dude, mosquitoes? They don't serve a purpose, dude. They're just bloodsuckers.
Yeah.
Little parasites.
Well, they're food to like spiders. So.
And to like some sort of African country.
Anteaters.
Have you not ant, but mosquito? They catch a bunch of mosquitoes, and then they like squeeze and mush them up.
People?
Yeah, like some country in Africa. Well, let's look it up.
That's desperation, man.
Look up mosquito pat. Apparently they're like really nutritious, but they taste like shit.
I think. Yeah, it's insects, blood-sucking insects at that. You might get a disease from that. You must definitely get a disease from that.
Mosquito patty.
Unless you like somehow pasteurize it, that'd be very good.
Yeah, mosquito burgers from Africa.
Oh.
Maybe there could be a picture here in the future. I'm kidding. That probably would ruin your appetite if you saw that.
That sounds nasty.
But yeah, Killian, what's been new with you, bro? Any new revelations or any of that sort?
I've been the past few weeks all at school. I mean, I get my schoolwork done. I have all A's right now, which is cool. But, it's taking up a lot of my mental bandwidth. And the thing I want to be investing all of my faculties actively into is building the systems and processes of a business, just the entire business plan from standards operating procedures, as well as finance, how I'm getting the finance, how I'm acquisition, just all that, the nitty gritties of the entrepreneurship, all the technical stuff. Yet here I am preoccupied with McGraw-Hill accounting, plug and chug.
One assignment every 2 weeks, 10 questions.
Yeah, it's just, and all my other classes where I have to do, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of aspects I really enjoy about my classes. However, I don't enjoy feeling limited in time.
It almost feels like there's like a loop created where you only have like, when you're only given like a certain amount of energy to go through that loop.
And you can't escape
that loop is like school itself. Like you have no other time or energy like necessarily for anything else. Maybe for like 1 or 2 hobbies, but you're only given that energy like, and you don't have enough energy necessarily.
To allocate to getting out of the loop.
Exactly, bro. Then how do you get that extra energy? That's the real question.
God. No, but I know exactly what you mean. It's like
where do people like find that willpower?
Well, discipline. I mean, just having the discipline to act even when you don't feel like it, even when you are completely and utterly lacking energy, just to act in despite of that.
But like David Goggins type willpower, like I can't comprehend that.
He must have like a malfunctioning, like he must produce more serotonin than he knows what to do with. He must produce more dopamine than he knows what to do with. Just from, because like the whole thing with motivation is the amount of motivation you feel is a byproduct of how much dopamine you have. And with all these cheap means of getting dopamine, whether that's short form content, nicotine, meaningless sex, masturbation, pornography, just all the vices that so many people struggle with. it robs you of that extra dopamine because then you can no longer go back to baseline. And what he did is he removed all that external sources of dopamine, all that cheap dopamine, and made it his purpose in life to simply earn it. And now he's gotten to a point where he can just he's conditioned himself to be able to produce dopamine on command.
Oh,
so then he can continually have the motivation he needs to continue doing the task. Because without dopamine, you're eventually your muscles don't even do it. Like they stop working.
I have kind of like a analogy for that. It's kind of like, imagine like, I don't know, 15 different laser pointers, you know, they're like aiming everywhere in all directions, and each laser point, let's say it has like, I don't know, let's just be stupid about it. Let's say it has like 15 pounds of force, or let's say 10. And then if like each one's dispersed in like different...
You need 150 pounds of force to get through something.
Yeah, but if you just like focus all that like into one beam...
Then you're breaking through that door.
Then rather like 15 or 10 pounds of force in each different direction, you get 150 pounds of force in one little dot.
It's all about focus.
Yeah.
You know, what makes a bullet so effective is that sheer amount of force being compressed into such a small surface area. That's why it pierces you. So if you can somehow channel your focus to be like a bullet, you know, it's just that's how you succeed. But in today's world, you know, attention is constantly being fought for, and you need to protect your attention. Like it's one of the most precious resources.
Especially with TikTok and just social media overall, bro.
Yeah, it's a tool.
And it conditions you to have short attention span as well.
And if you have a short attention span, you can't perform as well as a human being. Honestly, like it is. There is no positive side effects to having a short attention span.
I contest.
Yeah, because I've been on both sides of the spectrum, having a short attention span and having a long attention span. I mean, I wouldn't say my attention span is where I'd like it to be. I definitely get distracted. I'm working on cultivating a deep work character quality where I can simply immerse myself in a task and not cease my relentless focus until said task is complete. However, I'm still falling short of that for a bit. But the ability...
Well, the fact is that you're still acting towards it.
Right.
You know, like you still have that goal. It's not like you're like, fuck it, you know, I tried.
Right.
Like you're persistent about it. It's like it's okay if you fail. It just matters. You know, it sounds
the pursuit is noble.
Yeah.
But like you said earlier, all these social media platforms like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, they're all designed to keep you on it for as long as possible. And that's robbing you of this vital store of energy. But it's also one of the greatest tools of our time. You know,
double-edged sword.
Exactly. Like the contents of your mind dictate the contents of your life. So once you truly believe something and start sowing, you know what they say in the Bible, you reap what you sow. We have that in description of every single episode. You reap what you sow.
That's like the law of the universe, dude.
It's the law of the universe.
Yeah.
It is a unalienable cosmic truth that what you focus on eventually will manifest in your life. I've been hearing this all across almost all the content I've been consuming, and it's starting to become realer and realer for me. By protecting your inputs, human beings are synthesizers, and synthesizers take inputs and they create outputs. So guard your inputs. If you're eating bad food, you're reducing your productivity. You are what you eat. If you're consuming shit like Dahmer, if you're watching shows like Dahmer, murder mysteries, horrible, horrible shit, if you're watching like pornography.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me like that.
If you're like watching pornography, that's gonna rattle around your subconscious, and it's going to dampen your ability to embody your true self and perform your purpose.
And especially, bro, with TikTok. I deleted
TikTok. It disperses
TikTok.
your focus in every which way, like you said, the lasers.
Dude, I deleted TikTok like a really long time ago, and probably before this summer, if I remember. Mm-hmm. No, probably like a year ago at least. It's been a while.
I have it on my phone, but I use it more so for research purposes these days. Like 10 minutes at a time, because I know how powerful it is.
Oh, yeah. But, dude, after not being on TikTok for so long, my buddy pulls up TikTok, and I'm like instantly freaking hooked.
You're just
and
like, what the fuck is this?
I'm like, this is so like, it just feels good to watch.
Yeah, it's because there's an army of nerds cultivating the entire experience.
Dude, fuck them nerds, bro.
Fuck them nerds.
They are like literally, in a way, conditioning society.
Those user interface / user experience people, you guys suck, man. I mean, like you're doing a really good job.
But get a better job that actually contributes more to society in a way.
Exactly. But I guess, the whole dilemma of the human experience is that it's freedom of choice. You can do whatever you want. So having the willpower to then exert upon not indulging in these sources of cheap dopamine is kind of like the name of the game. And
But what if with certain circumstances you don't have that willpower?
If you're always...
Think about that.
If you're like a
Is
child,
it really free will if you don't have the free will in order to act on it?
Wake up.
You are asleep. You need to understand this. I'm just kidding. But yeah, dude, like if you are put in a position, like you're just some random ass person, put in a position where you're just gonna fail either way. Mm-hmm. Is that like truly willpower?
I'd say I heard this from Iman Gadji. I don't really idolize him anymore, but he came from a very poor background, kind of messed up. I mean, he went to private school, but that's because of his stepdad, who was like kind of extremely abusive. He was actually an immigrant from Russia who moved to the UK, and he said that like if you grow up in a bad situation, that's absolutely not your fault. But if you grow up, become an adult, and you're still in a bad situation, then it's your fault.
Yeah, because there's no like state of improvement,
Right, because you're just letting your circumstances define you. When the only thing that defines you is the contents of your mind, which is why you need to manage your inputs.
Wouldn't you say like society defines you as well?
Absolutely. Society is trying to cram these inputs into you.
I mean, it does kind of like
the media
manipulate
machine.
you. Yeah,
the media machine is stringing narratives along. Like in the 90s, it was Sex in the City. And the goal of Sex in the City was to normalize casual sex. It was to normalize deviancy. It was to normalize things that aren't actually good for people, but to make it sound like, oh, it's fine. You're not hurting anyone doing this stuff. The only person you're hurting is yourself when you indulge in all that stuff, And nowadays, it's like Megan Thee Stallion. You got like WAP. You got like Cardi B. It's only progressed.
Dude, my ears literally bleed like when I hear like Cardi B, Nicki Minaj. She kind of goes hard
Rap
in like
general.
a song or two.
Okay, Nicki Minaj. Yeah, she's got bars.
Yeah.
I actually really like.
But then like a little Sexy Red or whatever, more like unsexy Red.
Ice Spice.
Yeah, dude. It's just like they just sound so like.
It's gross.
Ignorant, dude, and all they rap about is their
how wet the thing is.
Yes.
But
thank you.
It's also just rap in general. A lot of it is so demeaning, and I'm not just ripping on female rappers. Rap in general, in a lot of ways, is literally like just trying to make being a jerk cool. It's like 20 or like the baby. He's like, piss in a cup, call it lemonade, make a white person drink it. Like, wait, what?
I feel like that's like a stereotype and an accurate stereotype for a reason. But at the same time, you have like artists like like Lil Baby and like talking about the whole like the BLM movement and stuff, like rapping about it. I felt like that wasn't just mumble rap and it had meaning. And you got like
I mean, obviously, I don't want to make generalizations about a genre.
Fat Dude,
I enjoy rap.
Rod Wave.
I enjoy rap a lot, but at the same time,
like I feel like we think about like the negative aspects about rap, and us thinking about the negatives, we're gonna think about more of the negatives and
that's
the positives.
Change the content
exactly.
Of our mind,
And I feel like that's how we think about life in general. Like we let the negatives overpower the positives.
Right.
But then we think about the positives, and then you're like, shit, it's really not that bad.
It's really not.
You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, I totally. But at the same time,
sorry, I kind of went down like.
No, that's true. It all relates. It all relates. It's just. There's some rappers who are amazing. Like I love Kendrick Lamar. Like he's rapping about serious issues. This Childish Gambino, he's rapping about serious issues, or things that aren't so superficial or vulgar, But then there's like non-artful takes on it. And I guess that's the case for all music, really. It's really just these media companies trying to create the most polarizing and vulgar music they can to influence people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude. I'm sorry. I was just going down a rabbit hole
in your mind.
Yeah, dude. I was just like.
Were you picturing what I was saying? Or?
I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. And I feel like society, like overall, like with music and stuff, it's not that bad. We just think about the negatives. I was just thinking about that part, and like there's.
It's like, definitely idolizing certain behaviors.
Though. And there's like a large crowd in society which is actually normal.
Yeah.
But we think about the smaller portion.
Right.
You know what I mean? Especially stuff like on media and stuff like
Oh,
that.
well,
So.
that's because they speak the loudest.
Yeah.
It's the loud minority that makes you think that the world is so screwed up. When really, just most people are well-adjusted people, you know, and they're just not so loud, and they don't have these platforms that they can then express themselves. Another example of media pushing things I don't like, that I think aren't beneficial to people, is like Lil Nas X in this music video.
Which one?
Call Me by Your Name, or was that what it's called? Or no, that's the Tim
one
Chalamet
where he's
movie.
going down to like a strip pole down the
Yeah,
hill.
yeah, that's just like not okay.
Yeah, bro.
That's just like, why would you think that's okay to publish? I mean, like freedom of speech, obviously. Like, I'm not trying to suppress anyone because that's a whole other issue. But it's just like, have some couth, you know? That's just gross. That's just unsavory.
And especially like having like little children and stuff as like just being fans. Like I feel like majority of your crowd just being children and
yeah,
like
kids
being on Fortnite. And wasn't he on Fortnite or something?
Yeah, he was like a
when
skin.
he was like normal.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got a bunch of like little kids as fans from Fortnite, and then you know what I mean.
And then he did that.
Yeah. Fortnite.
Fortnite, yeah.
I
Moonlight.
can't stand that game. I got the game for like a month. I had to delete it.
I used to play it back in the day before it started evolving even worse when it like first came out, and I was like, oh, this is pretty fun, I guess. I've never been too keen on the whole battle royale thing. I'm more so into first-person shooters when I do play video games. But
I agree.
they crank those games out, and they're all starting to monetize. But not only do you have to purchase the game, but I totally get it. Production costs are going up, but not only do you have to purchase the game, but now you also have to buy the battle pass once a month. That's like from anywhere from like $6 to like $20.
Yeah, and it doesn't sound bad, but when you think about it on a monthly scale, it's like me doing sales this summer. You were gonna say something?
They're getting that recurring revenue, which I get because development costs are going up, but at the same time, it is kind of like, why are you holding all the cool stuff behind a paywall? Yeah.
Profits.
Profits.
Sadly.
That's exactly why.
Capitalism.
That's exactly right.
I feel like capitalism is like great, and then it's bad.
It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
I mean, it spurs ingenuity, but it also is exploitive in a lot of capacities.
Exactly. Too many loopholes.
It's a lot to think about.
Yeah.
And we're just a couple of guys being dudes.
Yeah, a couple of guys just being dudes. Dude, college like got me thinking about life a lot. You know, like
I guess that's the point.
Like, yeah, I like just to like learn about life and learn about yourself as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you picked that up.
Did we?
Yeah, I heard it.
Oh, nice.
That was nice.
Wow.
I may even turn up the volume just so the audience can even hear it even more.
Dude, I jumped like a set of UC stairs at the university center. Like the
Which
bottom
ones?
set of stairs.
Like from the top to bottom?
No, I'd fucking die.
Like top from bottom to top?
No, from like the last set of stairs. Like there's like staircase and then flat level where the staircases like meet, and then just bottom set of stairs like at the second floor of the UC, not the basement floor. The second floor. I jumped that and then I rolled, but I landed on my back, and then I just hit perfectly. I felt no pain whatsoever, but the pop was like echoed in the UC just from like a vertebrae, and I was like,
I love that.
I was like, what the hell, tarnation? You know, I was just kind of surprising.
You thought you tweaked something, but then you're fine.
Yeah, bro.
Let's see if I can pick this up. I probably didn't get that. Now this is the weekly ASMR segment.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh.
Oh. Oh wow. Okay, that's crazy.
Dude, I low-key wanted to start like my own like talking about TikTok again, but some sort of like
TikTok.
ASMR, yeah, like just like videos of me just like
Cracking.
shattering, but like not just like individual videos,
Right.
more of like compilations of
Right. Of
me
you
just
cracking.
shattering my back, especially this morning, dude. Like I can't really count because they pop so fast.
You can still do that. You can still do that.
What?
Start the TikTok where you just open yourself, the cracking up.
Yeah.
And then maybe
Maybe name it like crack-a-lackin'.
you could.
Yeah.
You could. And that could maybe like funnel to your Instagram. Maybe like repost like serious stuff. Or maybe it could be the same stuff all across. But me and Cody before this podcast were talking a lot about how, despite social media being Pandora's box, it's an incredible tool, as probably anyone watching this knows, for cultivating an audience and then monetizing said audience, as well as just getting your personal brand out there. So if you had something like simple like that, right, you're like the crack guy. That sounds bad.
Maybe
or
I
you're
was
the person
thinking
who
about
cracks their joints.
Yeah, maybe I was thinking about the negatives more than the positives, like you are.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
I gotta be open.
Yeah, bro. But yeah, from what Killian mentioned in the initial start of the podcast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, bro. I just want to talk about it because, like...
You've been through it lately.
I've been through it, but at the same time, like, everyone's been through it.
Yeah.
And people are still going through it. So, like, maybe this could help you guys. You never know.
Absolutely.
But, yeah. So, yeah, like Killian said, been going through shit. But at the same time, like, mainly with the girl, let's say that. And it's been really difficult to the point where it's, like... It feels very unsettling in the inside, and it just feels like your soul's just, like, tied up, and, like, you're kind of, like, internally paralyzed. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's kind of, like, a little deep. But some of my friends, like, I got so much support from my friends and family, and one of them said, like, you put so much value in one person, like, you kind of treat them as, like, a god in a way, right? But with that, like... If you have, like, a good relationship with someone else, like, that means, or with someone, you can have, just as great a relationship as someone else, too. You know what I mean? Like, it's just building value in a person if you think about it in that sense. And it's just, like, yeah. And it's just, like, I feel like bad shit happens.
For a reason.
Just exactly. So you can improve as well. You know what I mean? And it gives you, like, the best motivation. Like, I probably gained, like, I don't know, 15 pounds or so.
From the sheer Zenkai boost.
Yes, bro. But it's just like, and it just feels good because, like, you would have never reached that point.
Right.
Unless that shit happened.
Yeah.
And I've been, like, reading about that in some books where it's like, I think it was, like, Never Split the Difference.
Oh, Chris Voss.
Yeah,
it's a good one. It's a good one.
And I believe it was that business book, but it's where, like, he describes these, like, very powerful, like, business owners, and they always go through, like, some crazy ass shit, but they don't get crushed by it. They overcome it.
And then that gives them the strength to succeed.
Exactly. And they're like, they face another challenge, and they're like, oh, this isn't shit.
This is an opportunity to grow as opposed to a bad thing that happened.
Exactly, bro. And it's kind of like a mind bender in a way.
Yeah, because, like, if you choose to perceive something as, like, a grand halt, like, oh, my life's on pause because of this horrible thing that happened to me. It could also be one of the greatest things that's ever happened to you because it gives you the strength to succeed.
Because if, like, a great thing happened to you,
you're not going to learn it.
You're going to be like, oh, cool, oh my gosh, I feel special. But you're not going to, like, grow,
We're only here to grow. On a spiritual level, on a physical level. Like, you're making gains.
Physical level. Yeah, dude.
No, but, like, the gym is like a metaphor for growing. Like, you progressively overload. You have a problem, a problem you need to solve. You need to get bigger muscles to push heavier weight. In order to be able to be the person who's capable of bench pressing 225, you gotta work your way up and start out with, like, let's say you start out way below, like, maybe 135 is, like, crazy for you. Like, that's, like, your 1 rep max. You got to start somewhere. But the fact that you persevere and gain the ability to eventually comfortably move that weight.
For curls?
No, I'm just making the bench press for an example.
I'm just kidding.
Because he can curl 135. Stop!
Anyways.
Because he can rep 225. But, just progressively overloading and continually facing difficult circumstance is what's going to be the determinant of success.
Progressive overload, it's literally just, like, adaptability to a certain environment.
It goes back to Darwinism.
Exactly. It's just like, yeah, literally. It's like just adapting to your environment because your body always adapts. Like, if you run a lot, your body's going to adapt to running. Right. If you smoke a lot, your
lungs are going to adapt to smoking.
Yep. And exactly. And it's just like, your body always adapts. Like if you get medication, over time your body adapts to it. You need a higher dose, you know what I mean? So it's really just adapting and then like facing a new challenge, adapting to that challenge, and just step and step and step.
But even your thoughts spurred that adaptation. Even like, I was talking about this before the podcast with Cody, but like, let's say you're hungry and you start salivating because you're thinking of food. Or let's say that you're looking for a companionship and then your genitals begin to react whilst you're thinking of something. Like, you
get a boner.
you get a boner. You get a boner. You thinking about this is changing your physiology, and how you decide to perceive a situation also changes your biology equally. So that's why I've been I know I mention this pretty much once every podcast, but I've been really interested in the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza as of late, because his main teaching is that you can control the contents of your mind, which could then control the contents of your personality. And your personality is what determines your personal reality.
Wait, how did they describe it? There was like fuck, I don't remember it too well, but it's like when you act a certain way for a little bit,
you become that person.
If you like have that emotion for a little bit, if you're like really depressed, it's just temporary. You're just depressed.
It's a temperament.
But if you keep doing it over and over, it becomes a habit. If you keep doing it over and over and over and over and over and over and over, it becomes a personality trait.
Right.
Real.
But you can consciously, like I said, with managing your inputs, you can consciously determine your inputs so that they're more favorable to your desired outcome. Let's say you want to be a successful entrepreneur. Let's say you suffer from imposter syndrome and you feel like you could never provide something valuable enough to warrant a premium so that you can live the lifestyle you want to live, which is something I personally struggle with. Well, this is where Joe Dispenza comes in. By tailoring the contents of your mind through entering a meditative state and then visualizing and trying to emotionally and physically embody a new state of being over time, just like what you mentioned with adaptation earlier, eventually you will hack your brain, your physiology, your entire central nervous system to act as though you are that desired outcome. And this is real. This is truth. People have fixed chronic illness this way. People have manifested insane outcomes just by sitting and doing nothing for like 30 minutes to an hour every day.
Yeah.
Because they're bracing their body for the event before it happens. So like you said with adaptation, like I said with salivating before you when you're thinking of food, or getting a boner when you're thinking of companionship. Yeah. It's the same thing, but on a much grander scale, because you're consciously dictating the contents of your mind, as opposed to just being a slave to your inputs.
Exactly. That's just like, that's hard to think about.
That's the truth.
And that's hard to think about because it's like...
It is a lot, because it's so contrary to our programming.
It's hard because we literally like are programmed in relation to our environment, and we act like that in order to survive.
Right.
But it's like...
What if we
didn't
have
hard.
to?
Yeah, exactly. And we can. But it's like the idea of it is just like...
It's really hard to implement.
Just being your own person, and rather that 95% of your subconscious mind controlling you, it could be, I don't know, like, I don't even know if this is possible, like 50% of your mind, of you controlling you. And,
right.
You know what I mean?
That
the other
habits.
Quality,
yeah.
Because I feel like if it's just you controlling you the whole time, you'd have to think about like...
It's not going to stick.
It's gonna be so much effort thinking about everything
then you're going to run out of willpower.
That's why we have habits without without us thinking about it, because like us thinking about like everything we have to do. That's why everyone tells you to get in the habit of like, having a routine and that stuff. So
the habits are super powerful.
Exactly. Sorry, that was kind of like...
No, it's absolutely and utterly related.
It's crazy.
There's like two schools of thought for personal transformation, and I'd say both have valuable information to be parsed from them. And there's like the grind set, which kind of like embodies David Goggins, where it's like, just fucking do it.
Yeah, just carry the boats in the logs.
Cause and effect. Like, I am going to carry out actions that will then create this desired outcome because I want it more than I want to breathe. And then there's a second camp where it's effect bringing about a cause. It's the Newtonian model, which is or non-Newtonian model. It has more so to do with like the quantum, the ability during meditation to tap into the infinite field of potentials in the quantum field. I'm sure this sounds like crazy jargon, but Joe Dispenza talks a lot about this in his works. By removing yourself from your current circumstances and trying to embody a new potential that could exist because it already does, you can then start becoming that person. By, like, let's say I'm not saying you specifically, but let's say that you struggle with anger issues and you blow up on your family, or you just based in hate, and you really don't like this about yourself because it hurts to hate, you know?
Yeah.
Because you would rather love, because everyone would rather love.
Exactly, bro. And for me, like, in my childhood, like, it was just like, it was not good. It was a lot of hate, a lot of fear, a lot of anger,
no one likes
pain.
That.
But, like, now that I'm here, like, that's, like, the last thing I want for anyone. You know what I mean? Because, like, I know what it feels like to experience that. So, therefore, why do other people have to experience it?
Exactly. They don't have to.
Exactly.
If you based in hate like that, and you don't want to, well, then instead of having a defeatist mindset, like, that's the way I am, you can actually go into the subconscious mind by meditating and start trying to picture yourself in another situation. And just like how you start salivating when you think of food, whenever you get that stimulus of something that would normally make you mad, you could swap out that stimulus of getting angry.
You condition yourself. You adapt yourself to a new environment you're trying to create.
Exactly.
Or imagine of or think about.
Exactly. Well, you are tailoring your environment because your mind doesn't know the difference between external and internal because it reacts to spite.
Would you feel like that would be considered like, I don't know how to explain it, like in a way, like a good type of like delusional, like
it's
changing your mindset.
It's not really a delusion. If anything, I'd say it's like the only esoteric truth that all religions believe in. The contents of your mind determine the contents of your reality.
Mm-hmm. Because that's how you perceive
reality isn't not, often like the Cartesian view of reality. It's like mind and body, substance and infinite substance are different. But in all actuality, they're not. They're a part of the same gradient, at the bottom being gross matter and at the top being pure consciousness. And we exist somewhere in between. Mm-hmm. And our job in this lifetime is to gain the consciousness needed to fully understand this, that reality is ultimately illusory. And the people at the top, the people who run our financial institutions, the people who run our government, know this stuff. But instead of using it for good, they use it for bad. So, you know the Matrix franchise?
Yeah, dude, I freaking love those movies, yeah.
They're obviously allegorical for our society.
Red pill, blue pill.
The red one, the blue one.
What the hell?
But, sorry.
This is just so out of pocket.
Sorry. Or the purple one.
The purple
This one makes you trip balls.
The purple one.
I like the purple one. Just take the purple one. But
the black one, you just die.
It's poison. You can take it if you want. I mean, shit. The white one's caffeine.
I take this one.
I like this one. The green one has 500 milligrams of THC. No, but
I can't.
Those Matrix movies, which are obviously allegorical for our society, and that we exist inside of a matrix that's trying to condition minds into believing that they're limited to only matter. Those movies were produced by a Rothschild. Do you know who the Rothschilds are?
Yeah, don't they work in Hollywood?
They work in everything. They have their hands in everything now, but they started out
is
in fractional reserve
one of them
banking.
related to Arnold Schwarzenegger? Or is he one?
I could have swore it's like a. That's a topic for another day.
Lineage,
all this lineage stuff for like prominent people are often related to these people.
Dude, we should do something like that. Be like, yo, they're related to this person.
No, Anderson Cooper's related to the Rothschilds.
Yeah, bro, we should just do an episode on that, and then we get fucking shot.
No, they would literally kill us.
Died by suicide from 16 shots
I would
in the
never
back.
kill myself. I would never kill myself. I would never kill myself. I have no intention to do that. Nor does Cody. But Sophie, and this is evidence if anything ever happens down the line.
Yep, we're here.
We're here, and we would never do that. And if that does happen, it was foul play.
I would never kill myself with 16 shots in the back.
I would not take 170 cyanide pills in one sitting.
170?
I wouldn't inject 16 needles of heroin or hang myself off a doorknob.
Wouldn't you like die instantly from cyanide? How does that work?
I think, yeah, it's like a cellular thing. As opposed to like stopping a process, it like instantly prevents you from being able to take in oxygen.
So 170 would be like a world record. Like,
yeah.
Crazy.
No, but like a lot of those suicides were like, like Marilyn Monroe, for example. She had more drugs in her system than you could possibly take in one sitting, which is implying that she didn't take those drugs. She was forced to take those drugs.
Dude, her death is like...
Because she was about to give a press conference about stuff she had learned from her affair with JFK. You know, there are two presidents who are not Freemasons.
JFK.
JFK and Abraham Lincoln. What happened to JFK and Abraham Lincoln?
What about Donald Trump?
I could have swore he's a Mason. Could have swore he's a Mason.
No.
Yeah, I think he's in on it too. But JFK and Abraham Lincoln. And they were both assassinated. And they both resented the World Bank. And who owns the World Bank?
The Rothschilds.
Rothschilds.
That's some crazy stuff, dude.
Yeah, man. But it's a very deep rabbit hole. It's a very deep rabbit hole. We're going on quite a few tangents today.
Yeah, dude. Honestly,
I kind of like the disorganized nature.
Yeah, it's so disorganized,
it's
but
casual.
at the same time, it's just like...
It's casual, man. Let me just drink out of my NRA
It's not
water
like
bottle.
this is a presentation. We're just two dudes just talking.
Perhaps our audience will appreciate our authenticity, or perhaps they'll find it annoying. I don't really care.
Perhaps they think it's weird as shit. Perhaps
I just enjoy being myself.
Right. Exactly. Bro, like, I get that a lot. People think I'm weird, but not in a bad way.
People think I'm weird. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, exactly, bro. And it's just like, dude, I used to, like, not act like myself. You know what I mean? Because, like, I was forced to be put in that kind of line where I can be myself. But, dude, it's just like, when you act like yourself and you don't give a fuck about what people think, that's just like, it's freedom. It feels like freedom. And it's just like, freedom you don't constrain on your own self. You know what I mean?
Stoic ideals.
There you go.
I know we were ripping on social media earlier, but I think it's a great way to learn, great way to educate yourself. I was talking to my girlfriend about this last night, but I say in the next 20 years, college is not going to be a thing because we're in the information age.
Let me write it down.
We're in the early information age.
Dude, it's going to exist, bro. Like, how much profit are they making off college?
People are going to stop going.
Oh, because it's going to keep increasing.
Unless they pivot. It's
that J curve.
Exactly. Unless they just change the way it functions, I don't see college existing as the way it does now in the next 20 years. What I'm thinking is going to happen is that people are going to autodidactically learn skill sets. So let's say, I really enjoy this because I saw what this job entails on social media because I self-educated on these social media platforms and these algorithms presented things that they think I'd like. So now I think I want to pursue this. And then let's say someone who has a certification releases an info product on how to do said topic that gives you a certification. And then you start building out this whole modular set of certifications that then demonstrate your capacity to do this job that you want, as opposed to just having a very general degree. Like, obviously, you're studying business, but what about business?
I like your insight on that, dude.
People are just going to get certifications.
Exactly, bro. And I feel like also what's going to happen is there's going to be this, like, small movement, which is going to turn into a big one, where it's, like, people are just going to, like, not, when college, like, reaches the peak of the J curve, people are not going to want to, like, at the peak of its price, people are not going to want to attend college. And when they freaking do, it's just like, I mean, they're just not going to. So they're going to, like, do what you said.
I see two ways
for
the future. I see either we go commie style and we start paying for people, middle finger, we start paying for people's colleges, or two, it simply goes away. So either college is going to become high school 2, or it just won't be a thing anymore.
I think it will be a thing, just not on this large of a scale.
Right.
Because I feel like if you're an engineer, you're a doctor, a nurse, you have to. Like, Like, that's not something you can just like
Right.
self-educate, you know. I feel
Absolutely.
like there's gonna be like maybe not colleges, but different types of institutes for those people.
Right, like
and the other
physical
people,
places that you go to learn said trade.
exactly.
However, in some instances, you can just do that online.
But dude, I'm just waiting for this movement where people are just gonna like. I feel like it's already starting. People are saying they don't want to go to college. Like it's not that worth it. It's
Right.
gonna keep getting passed down like over maybe like a decade, and then there's gonna be a large group that just like migrates away from college,
Right.
and then it's gonna keep getting bigger and bigger, and there's not gonna be as many people attending that college at the peak of the J curve.
I just thought of the title of this video.
Yes.
So it'd be esoteric wisdom, and then college being obsolete, and then a couple guys being dudes.
Wow.
That was fucking crisp as fuck, boy.
Oh my goodness.
I was very articulate what I just said. It's very very profound. Yeah, it's crisp as fuck.
It was crisp as fuck. Crispy crisp. Like crisper than Arby's curly french fries.
Sarcasm. I haven't been to Arby's in quite some time.
It's probably been at least a year.
Yeah. I don't really
Because
like...
I'm vegetarian.
That's right.
And I don't want the meats.
Yeah, the meats. I don't really, I try to avoid fast food by and large, save for Chipotle. Because it's super easy to get your macros and it's delicious.
And it's like, dude, you get hella rice and like that bean.
That's like,
and it's just
like good food, actually.
but like, dude, McDonald's, I go like probably 2 or 3 times a year. It's just so fucking.
I haven't gone in like 6 years.
I get so hungry.
It doesn't fill you.
I eat it. I feel like shit. If I eat it before I sleep, I don't sleep well. I have a shitty next day because of
Right.
that sugar.
It's poison.
It literally is.
It's poison.
And it's like it feeds cancer. And cancer didn't used to be a thing until what, like the 1960s?
Right.
So.
And that's when they released all this government documentation about the food pyramid. Like, oh, you have to eat all these food groups. Like, I think we should eat the way humans have always eaten. Except then they're hiding that. It's like, oh, we obviously...
Or do you think we just kind of like somewhat evolved down to this?
We're definitely
because
devolved in a lot of capacities.
Yeah, because the food made us evolve.
Right.
So
right.
now, like, we react to the sun, we get skin cancer.
Right.
Because of the food.
Right. It literally makes you weaker. Skin oils do that. Or not skin oils. Seed
Seed
oils.
oils.
Seed oils literally reduce your ability to adapt at all.
I'm gonna stop drinking that UC creamer now.
I've been telling you, it has cottonseed. Okay, so Nestle Coffee Mate Creamer has cottonseed oil in it. Why the fuck would you consume cottonseed oil? I don't even think I'd use it on my door hinge.
So how does that work? Do they just get like
They get a bunch of seeds.
seeds from cotton?
A bunch of cheap seeds.
From cotton.
Like in this instance, cotton.
Oh.
And they run it through a machine that removes all the particulate substance and leaving only liquid oil. Pretty much in all cases, concentration of physical substance is bad. White sugar is a concentration of sugar cane. Cocaine is a concentration of the coca leaf. Seed oils is a concentration of oils from seeds. Why do you think that having more of something so compressed into a small amount would be good for you? Like, it's obviously the natural distribution is the way it already should be. So why are you going to take it to the 10th degree and compress it 100 times?
Because it makes it so much more delicious, dude.
Yeah, same with like corn syrup.
Like, I'm an American, I have to reach 500 pounds and not be able to get out of bed.
Dude, I love that I haven't seen my penis in 3 years.
I haven't seen my toes in 3 years.
That's insane that, like, obesity is just going higher and higher and higher. And
People don't care.
It's the food.
Yeah.
It's literally, and it's not just calories in, calories out. There are endocrimatic disruptors. There's endocrine disruptors in the food that people are commonly consuming. And I don't think this is a coincidence. I don't think this is a byproduct of the free market. I think, okay, there are a few companies that own all of the holding companies that own all of the food providers and the food distributors.
What is it?
Vanguard, State Street, and BlackRock.
BlackRock, yeah. Wait, State Streets?
State Street, Vanguard, and BlackRock.
Okay.
And BlackRock.
Fucking the housing market.
They're artificially inflating the housing market because it's all for their plan, the Great Reset, because they don't want people to own property. But I need to give that a whole other video. Let's talk about that. But they buy all the farmland and then they make it the standard to have human damaging farming practices, and they make it the cheapest way to operate so that people will do it because they understand economics. So they're like, okay, you have to use genetically modified seeds because you have to buy it in order to be a part of this bureau. Oh, you have to use these fertilizers that we also own because it's in our black box portfolio that is literally poison for everyone involved. It kills bugs when they touch the food. So why would we eat that? Oh, and then you also have to transport it so that it loses its nutritional value. And you also have to package it in endocrine disrupting packaging because plastic literally binds to the same receptors that normally would receive testosterone, which is explaining the decrease in fertility in testosterone in blood for men. And this is all part of their plan. Their end goal is to completely and utterly decimate the ability for people to procreate.
And sperm cells are going down.
And they're going down. And
by how many percentiles?
Oh, I think it was like 600%.
You're kidding.
I kid you not.
Then why are we like bigger than?
Huh?
Why are we like bigger than like people like from the 1990s or 80s? Like,
that's
even though we have so much more or less testosterone.
Because our understanding of exercise science and nutrition is improving because of the democratization of information.
So if we had that information in the 1980s,
we would be fucking huge. Everyone would be ginormous.
You're kidding.
I mean, look at a photo of someone from like 1920 who is 17 years old. They look like a man. They look like a man. They look like they're 30. And I'm not sure if that's because they've lived a hard life, because life obviously used to be harder. Don't get me wrong. There are tons of pros to living in today's society. However, there is an agenda to decrease the world population through decreasing fertility and just outright poisoning people. But I'm not going to go out and...
That's a deep rabbit hole.
That's a deep rabbit hole that I don't think I could adequately cover in today's episode of The Pursuits of Productivity. But it's just crazy. Like, even the water. Fluoride does not... It helps your teeth a little bit, but it's also been demonstrated to just straight up decrease your IQ.
Your teeth need like at least a daily dose of like fluoride in order to not like have cavities occurring in your mouth.
According to who?
The dentist.
And where do they learn from?
I mean, like, yeah. But at the same time, if you're brushing your teeth twice a day, why do we need fluoride in our water?
Yeah.
Why do we need that extra amount of fluoride when we get our supply from the toothpaste itself?
Toothpaste that we're supposedly using?
Yeah.
Because they want as much fluoride in us as possible. Because what fluoride does is it actually decreases IQ as well as something called calcifying your pineal gland, where you start building a thick paste around your pineal gland, which is located in the back of your brain, that decreases its piezoelectric effects. So what that means is there is a biological mechanism within the human body that allows you to ascend your consciousness. It's called, this whole practice of ascending consciousness is called Kundalini Yoga. You take energy from your root chakra, and the end goal is to bring it to your brain, to your
nuts to the balls, head to the head.
Head to the head, exactly.
Yep.
And I live by that. And if you calcify the pineal gland, you reduce its piezoelectric effects, which in turn greatly alters your ability to transfer the Kundalini energy from your base to your, eventually your 8th chakra, which is sort of more of a metaphysical, that's a different subject. But this actually literally makes you a less spiritual person, as well as a less intelligent person. And they put it in our water. Why? Because they don't want smart people. They don't want conscious people. They want workers. They want serfs, people.
What about Fiji water?
It's in plastic.
Fuck.
It's wrapped.
I don't even drink Fiji water.
It's wrapped in endocrine disrupting. I use a metal water bottle, but here I have a plastic lid. I'm such a hypocrite.
But it's EPA certified, so you're chilling.
Yeah.
It should be at least.
Oh, well, I think it's like PET 7. The lower it is, the more it leaches. But I only keep cold liquids in here. But it's a stainless steel bottle. And the only water I drink, I try not to drink any of the water unless I'm really in a pinch around the area, is water I make from my Vivor water distiller. So what that does is it takes tap water and then removes all of the non-H2O substance just by heating it up and condensating it, and then it collect it in a glass. And then from there, I add electrolytes so that I'm not like cramping and that I'm still
Dude,
hydrated.
electrolytes are so like underrated. I feel like
Facts.
in like sports and sports medicine in general, they don't like
They don't stress
it
it
enough. Exactly. And it's we finish each other's
enough.
sentences. On that note, yeah, bro. And it's just like if you don't have enough, it doesn't just affect your body, it also affects your mind. It gives you that brain fog. And that's what I learned from Killian. I'm like, dude, after my workouts, I get the worst freaking brain fog in like the world, dude.
I'm like, just have a liquid IV.
Yeah, and I do it. I'm like, wow.
I'm revived.
I'm alive. Wow. I'm
Second
like,
wind. I'm not dead for the rest of the day.
And I'm in the moment as well, like I'm present. So, yeah, bro.
Don't listen to devil music. Don't drink the fluoride in the water. Guard the contents of your mind and body, because there is a war, people. There's a war going on. A spiritual war.
Dude, everyone has their own spiritual war as well.
Spiritual warfare, man, it's real.
It is real, bro.
And eventually you'll gain the ability to discern, and you'll be able to identify patterns. And once you start seeing patterns, you're never the same.
Speaking about discernment, do you think that's a gift or a curse?
Whatever you perceive it as.
Facts. I think it's a gift.
I think it's a gift.
Yeah.
Because instantly having the ability to tell someone's intentions, as well as the intentions of a ploy, is really the greatest weapon of this time in our lives.
But what if there's stuff you just really never wanted to know? Like, ignorance is bliss, so therefore, like, there's stuff you don't want to discern, you know?
Would you rather be an ignorant but happy sheep who owns nothing? Or would you rather be a lion was the king of the jungle?
Or would you rather be like a lion but a very depressed lion? Because I feel like there's a point where you consume so much knowledge about the world itself, it can like... I feel like it's heavy sometimes, you know what I mean?
If you have faith, whilst also having that knowledge, that's the perfect balance, because that's when you start you start getting away from the shroud of ignorance, and you're now starting to embody the cosmic principle of knowingness, of knowledge. Because ignorance is keeping you low. It's keeping you lower vibrationally. It's keeping you lower in life. Because I'd argue your position in life, not in all cases, obviously, but your position in life is a byproduct of your position in your mind. The elevation of your vibration of consciousness is going to determine how well you understand everything around you and how much you can see the full spectrum of reality, which can then in turn give you a better life.
But what about this? Like, what if, imagine you're just some, like...
Joe Schmo.
Farmer in, Alaska.
Alaska. What are they growing there?
I don't know,
rocks.
Yeah, fucking
snow.
Rocks and snow. But, imagine you're just a very happy farmer.
You're a fish farmer.
Fish farmer.
You catch fish.
Yes, you catch fish. And then you have a big, fat, happy family. And not physically fat, but, like, fat regarding to how many people.
Fat and happy.
Yes, fat and happy, not physically and obese.
Not overweight.
But imagine, like, you see, like, meteors, go across the sky, and you're like, wow, those are some beautiful meteors, you know what I mean? Wow, cool. But then imagine that's an ignorant farmer. Mm-hmm. That's an ignorant, happy farmer. But imagine you have...
a learned.
And you're just a fucking genius-ass farmer, and you're like, fuck, I need this percent of water to make my crops grow. I mean, like, that's actually survival. But then you see the meteors, you know what I mean? And you're like... And you realize it's not just like, oh, cool. You realize it's like it can be a danger. And there's like, you see the meteors and you know it's an object. And you think about that object and you're like, wow, I can die any day. You know what I mean? And you think about that stuff. I feel like it could negatively affect you in that aspect. Well, was that a good analogy?
I'd say. Just knowledge. However, I'd say we operate in a dichotomous reality where there's chaos and order, where there's safety and there's danger. And in order to be most productive and most happy, we need to operate in the middle. We need to have a foot in both danger and safety. We need to have a foot in order and chaos. That's a concept in Taoism, where you're walking the Tao, the line between the two polar opposites. That's where balance is. That's where happiness is. That's where success is. Jordan Peterson talks a lot about this in his work, Order and Chaos, 12 Rules for Life, 1 and 2, as well as Maps of Meaning. We assign meaning to things, and in order to operate at our fullest human capacity, fully embodying the divine and the animal principles, we need to walk the line between the two, the Tao. So that's how people operate most effectively, by not only having knowledge of how they can hurt them, but also having faith that there is a divine consciousness that is in all things. You know how they say, "Oh, he's everywhere," and Christians are just like, "Oh yeah, he's everywhere." Yeah, like I love God.
They all experience the same thing.
His consciousness is actually imbued in every single molecule, in every single cell, in every single atom, in every single lepton, quark, subatomic particle, and even smaller. The entire fractal range of light that then creates every single perception that we can have is fully inhabited by God. That's a fact. That is a fact, and you have to have the sight to be able to hear it, to hear this, because some people are just gonna be like, "What the fuck are you talking about? This guy's a bozo. He's fucking hippy dippy. Like, it's not real." Like, God is literally everywhere because we are operating within the confines of His imagination, of His dream, of His manifestation.
And like, nothing. Wait, I don't know how to articulate it. Let me think about this. Something can't come from nothing. Right. And nothing can't come from nothing. Is that correct?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if you think about it in those terms.
Alpha and Omega.
Yeah. There's got to be something that created something. Like this, you had
some manufacturer.
Rubber, yeah.
Some manufacturer deemed it like financially viable to start producing these, and then the school bought it and then gave it to the DKC.
Yeah, and the copper was mined, and then the copper's mined by, you know what I mean?
And like produced.
There's always an action creating another action.
There's a reason for everything.
Exactly. I mean, yes.
And this entire sandbox in which we operate in also has a reason, and I believe that reason is to elevate the consciousness of
I feel like
every
you
single
have
person.
to. I feel like you have to. Because, like, if you're like, I'm just living life,
it's your obligation to try to improve.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think it is time.
I gotta balance.
Yeah, you gotta balance.
Well, we covered a lot of ground today.
We did. We
talked about esoteric truths and mysticism. We talked about meditation. We talked about silly goofananigans. We talked about
goofananigans. That's a new one.
I like that one. It's not quite a word, but it is now.
Yep.
We talked about self-respect. We talked about, in the beginning, we were kind of talking about mosquito burgers.
Yeah, we were talking about mosquito burgers.
We talked about a whole lot of ground, but it's all related at the end of the day, because in order to be a productive human being, you have to have your foot
balance
in chaos and order. So this is our chaos for today.
That was amazing.
Cody, I'm so glad you could come on an episode. It's been too long. It's been too long.
It has been too long.
It's been way too long. It's been like 4 weeks, 3 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, dude.
It's been busy.
It's been busy, but we're keeping a buck. Keeping a buck steady. We're doing our best.
Like 75 at least.
That's what's up.
Well, anyways,
that was episode 11 of Pursuits of Productivity. And remember, you reap what you sow.
Peace.
God bless you.
Pursuit of Productivity.